Okay. Uh, Good morning once again. So let me share my screen. So is the screen visible and am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So initially it's supposed to be the topic for yesterday, but had some urgent work cropping up. The date is still the 1st April on the slide. So today's topic is slightly in continuation with the ones we have taken up earlier. The first one in this series was patient consultation. Then we took it up as patient conversion tips or the ways or modes last week. So this is another process or say topic which is rarely discussed. We discuss the first part, the bargaining usually, and we don't discuss the negotiation part. And people believe that both of these are the same things, one and the same thing, which actually is not. And we actually say huff and puff over the word bargaining even when the patient resorts to it, and that is where we commit a mistake. So let me dispel a few myths about all these things today. So if you watch all these three videos in unison or in collectivity, the consultation, the conversion, and then the bargaining and negotiation, you will begin to feel that this all makes some sense, collectively speaking. So, as usual, all my presentations will always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty who's given me much more than what I deserve. And it is good to see you, at least 14 of you, in today's morning session. I think it's about almost 8 months that I have taken the morning session. The last morning session had taken on 12th of August, my dad's birthday, if I remember correctly, for the paid group only. So, this is my brief biodata. You all are aware of it. So today is webinar number 6 for the mini paid group in our journey till 30th June. Handling bargaining or negotiation in our clinics. What exactly it is? Let me throw a bit of light on this. For the next 55, 60 minutes, we'll be discussing this. Uh, Again, we say negotiation is an art which is difficult to master. What exactly? So because we have all types of patients in our clinic, the commonest thing which we actually encounter sometimes before and mostly afterwards is, doctor, can we reduce the price of the treatment? Can we or in other way, I'll pay you this much only. People resort to say one-handed tactics in that sense, which is actually wrong and which leaves us frustrated as well that we had actually detailed everything in the beginning. But then these things actually will begin to make sense if you incorporate the conversion and the say negotiation in the initial consultation part. So as I said, these three topics are very closely connected, and I usually work in a chain process. And my thought process goes in a particular direction, and then I go on exploring that side whatever way I can. So that is why this session is in continuity of that. So why the dentist can't actually negotiate, or they don't want to negotiate, or they are not actually learning to negotiate? Because we actually are not taught this thing in our colleges, and when we settle up, when we make ourselves totally say graduate skilled, even postgraduates, and we certain sometimes feel that we should not be. This is a noble profession. We are actually dealing with live human bodies, in our case live human teeth, so we should not be actually resorting to this thing. But then that is where the difference has to be made. We actually have to negotiate certain things, and negotiation is not always about pricing. This is the first thing you have to understand today. It is a business skill, and which actually gives you a position of power, as we say, as the medical legal aspects also say, uh, when the court judgments, many court judgments are also there in this regard, that when it comes to consent, that the dentist or the doctor was in a position of power to refuse the treatment, but he didn't actually do so. And when something bad happens and we say we didn't take the consent, that is where when we go back, yes, the problem lied at this start point only. So negotiation is again a position of power which we actually tend to squander. or we tend to actually say bargain for the patient. We have this mindset, or we live in this mindset, that the patient will run away if we don't negotiate or if we don't bargain. For us, most of us rather, I will say, irrespective of tier 1, 2, or 3 cities, most of us tend to confuse the word bargain with negotiation, or negotiation with bargain. We actually always, whatever we come across big ticket cases when the patient's budget is more than 50,000, we trying to, and sometimes we have spent 25 days of the month doing just about average business in the clinic. So it is all human mentality. We get a patient on 25th or 26th of the month, and we sometimes, यार ये patient छोड़ा तो we'll actually have a problem, थोड़ा हो जाएगा, या in other way, अगर ये patient नहीं किया, थोड़ा कम हो जाएगा, मेरी EMI तो निकल जाएगी. That is actually where the patients actually psychology starts dictating us. We forget, again, I'll go back to consultation and conversion, we forget where the patient's source of referral is. Maybe the patient has come from a good source and he actually wants to get it treated from you because your skill set has been admirable, or has been say praised a lot by his reference colleague. But we actually get into that defensive mindset, and obviously being an Indian mindset, the first thing we try is to bargain, or just to say throw a dice in the dentist's podium. And when the patient has a multiple things to be done, like a full mouth case, not full mouth rehab, but a full mouth case with multiple root canals, multiple restoration, multiple crowns and bridges, they always will throw the dice. Doctor साहब हमारे को एक package ही बना दो. They'll say it laughingly. Many a times patients say me also laughingly. But the best way is, if the patient has laughed it off, you also laugh it off. कि sorry, healthcare में package नहीं होता sir. It is all with the labs only. In clinics, we are actually not actually aware of many things which can come up. So we always say people groan and moan when it comes to paying happily at the mall. They don't actually do so. They do so happily at the mall. But when it comes to a local area shop, they'll actually say, "Bhaiya thoda kam kar lo, bhaiya thoda discount de do." Why? The value part. Again, you go to a Starbucks, say spend $500 for a coffee, which might not be very tasting very good to you. Just for the brand value, you went there. Just on reference, you went there. But if a local tea which is selling for 15 rupees or 10 rupees, somebody says I'm charging 20 rupees, you start bargaining with him for that 5 or 10 rupees. Is that important? Did you bargain to the Starbucks? No, we did not. So the brand and the value again make a difference in that. So sometimes in patients' actually choices, or patients' options, or patients' questions lies the answers as well. Maybe we are not that good a brand. Maybe we are not say wide enough in offering patients some options. So we all have difficulty negotiating for many reasons, because we are not taught this skill at all in our college. And we were all told to deliver the best quality of dental care to the patient, do our best, do good for the patient, the basic principles of ethics, say beneficence and non-maleficence, doing only good, doing no harm. So that comes into the foreplay. But then dentistry in India has gone through a lot of conversions. What a difference a few years of practice can make. This dental profession is now part of the healthcare industry. Now, actually, the administrators have become corporates, and patients are clients or customers, and diseases are product lines, at least in medical lines, if I talk about the corporate hospitals. And I'm not joking when I come to this. So today, I must say, I must be understating, but most of us are intelligent, hardworking, and dedicated. That is why we're in this profession. But then these are certain business skills, marketing skills, say, we need to develop as well when it comes to running our business. I call healthcare a business because it is an I&E, no doubt a noble profession, but our income and expenditure is involved, so it is a business. We all know that, business and profession. When it comes to filing the income tax return, we file the schedule BP, business and profession. That is perfectly fine. It is all about the mindset. So we actually possess other traits, but then we sometimes lack traits of business skills. As they बोलते हैं ना कि जिसने 10 साल सैलरी वाली नौकरी की हो वो बिजनेस नहीं कर सकता, या वाइस वर्सा, जिसने बिजनेस किया हो 10 साल अपना प्रोफेशन चलाया वो नौकरी नहीं कर सकता. So all these again exceptions are always there, but these are the basic paradigm because your mindset gets trapped in that those logics which actually don't work as such. So the number one reason we feel that most negotiation tactics are unethical. How this stems, where this stems from, we actually fail to realize that our mindset says bargaining, patient ko package dena, patient ko deal dena is a part of bargaining, and that is a part of negotiation. Unfortunately, no. Negotiation is something different. Negotiation, it is a win-win thing. In a package thing, you are actually say losing out, you are losing out on the money, the patient is gaining out on the discount part. But actually it should be a win-win situation. In bargaining, it is win and lose. One wins and the other loses. Technically, you forego some of your profits, or in other ways, in negotiation, it is a win-win situation. So it should be, it's sometimes seen unethical, but then what I am teaching today is absolutely ethical part, because I teach, I convey on medical legal parts as well. So I know which boundaries to cross and which not when it comes to talking about negotiation. So asking for more than you expect is a cornerstone principle of good negotiation. And Henry Kissinger once said, effectiveness at the bargaining table depends on your ability to overstate your initial demands. But then when we say asking for more, he said it is a deceptive thing. You should charge whatever you feel it is just according to your capability. But then our training, our actually education believes that we have to be totally open and frank. Yes, we have to. But then on the vice versa, we have to listen to the patient as well, do our homework properly. We have to be ready with the solutions before the patient is ready to ask for the question. But then again, with the point which I have been stressing since the start, let me now explain you the difference between the two things, negotiation and bargaining. Are they the same thing? Absolutely no. Dictionary meanings may be same to an extent, take any dictionary, Oxford or anyone, but they are actually not synonyms of each other. They're two different words with two different meanings. And that is what this session is all about today. So when it comes to bargaining, it is only about price. It is only related to price, but negotiation is not used in connection with price alone. It is about the total value. It is a combination of the internal marketing. It is about the things you want an upper hand in when it comes to say patient dealing. But then again, negotiation is a term which we apply in legal scenario also, or the MLE scenario. When we say the two parties come to an agreement, doesn't consent say the same, which I have told you many times. Consent means two individuals, means the doctor and the patient, agreeing on the same thing in the same sense. What exactly it is? It is an agreement. It is a negotiation only. So what you convey to the patient, we believe that मैं 1000 रुपए इस चीज का चार्ज करता हूँ. मैंने पेशेंट को 1000 बोला, पेशेंट ने 1000 बोला. I have a upper hand. No, it is a negotiation. You said one thing, the patient agreed to that. That is actually a negotiation. In your mindset, it is a say upper hand. Sometimes maybe patient said, नहीं डॉक्टर साहब 900 ले लो. You believe that चलो छोटा सा पेट है, filling है, maybe my materials would be less. You normally don't compromise, but your patient is a known one, uh, say not a relative as such, but a known one where you don't mind giving a little bit of discount. Fine, no problem. Again, it is not about foregoing that 100 rupees as a discount, which is not a policy of your clinic, but it is about agreeing to give 100 rupees as a friendly gesture to to a known person whom you believe that maybe the work would not be that great as well in quantity. So foregoing that 100 would not actually hurt you. Again, this is not bargaining. This is agreeing on the same thing in the same sense. That is what exactly negotiation is all about. But then bargaining is often done in a say informal situation, but negotiation can be other than just the price as well. And as I said, bargaining is about winning only. एक पार्टी को जीतना है, नहीं 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 डॉक्टर साहब इतने लो, इतने मैं तो इतने ही दूंगा जी। तो इफ यू एक्चुअली एग्री अपॉन, आपने 10,000 पेशेंट से मांगा, द पेशेंट से डॉक्टर साहब मैं तो 8,000 ही दूंगा। In your mind, as I said, if you are looming about that aspect that 25 तारीख हो गई है, अब ये थोड़े पैसे आ जाएंगे तो probably my EMI would be easy. We're already on the back foot. We're already having a defensive mindset, and we actually sometimes agree. कई बारी in a say a rush of blood we say नहीं मैं तो नहीं कम करूंगा. We actually don't negotiate even in that regard, because when the patient has come to you in a tone of bargaining, it is your skill set which will turn that bargain into negotiation, and you actually get what you want, and the patient also believes हाँ यार इतना कुछ मेरे को दे रहे हैं तो ये ठीक ही है, this is a just price for that. This is negotiation. This is, it is not about a heated argument, it is not about fighting, it is not about creating a bad blood, it is not about say disagreement, it is not about shouting at each other, it is not about spoiling your mood, it is about a win-win situation. That is what the negotiation is aimed at, and that is why I always stress on the first consultation. Again, first consultation does not mean the first sitting. It is once you have say checked up the patient needs diagnostic aids like CBCT or OPG or whatever. You send the patient gives you, and then you keep an appointment setting. That is usually, I call that as a first consultation, where you are actually talking to the patient. We always talk about convey the rules of the clinic. Then, because many a times patients have many things in their mind. Our mindset says patient always wants a discount. Patient always wants money to be toned down. No, many patients have a waiting criteria in their mind. Many patients have sitting thing in their mind. Many patients have the time constraint कि इतने दिन है मेरे पास, मेरे को जाना है. So those things also are a part of the negotiation which you have to take care, and those become a say part and parcel of your internal marketing. Yes, this doctor conveyed what he said. इसने मेरे को बोला था कि 4 दिन में काम खत्म करके देगा, 6 दिन बाद मेरी फ्लाइट है. He did it, and he did not make any shortcuts. He just got out of the way. He just rescheduled his patients, gave me maximum timings. There were no actually goof ups, and he actually delivered what he wanted, and he didn't overcharge me as well. That is where we need to understand this. Then as I said, bargaining में हमेशा जरूरी यही होता है कि कौन एक जीता. But then arriving at the right decision is giving priority over the personal gains for some. Negotiation is sensible, bargaining might not, because bargaining is more of a selfish conversation. Usually bargaining is, as we said, with price only. मेरे पैसे कम लगे, that is the bottom line. या मेरे पैसे ना जाएं, that is the bottom line for more. Again, negotiation is a sensible conversation. So in bargaining, people actually concentrate on satisfying their desires related to money only. And sometimes there is no rationality involved in this. I recently had a patient, just to give you an example, 3 days back only. Patient said, you charge this much for a crown. I said, okay, this is a crown charge. Doctor, you increase the crowns by double. When did you get the crown done from me? I got it at X divided by 2 amount. That was a middle crown. Okay. And that to 10 years back. Okay. So only thing is sometimes you have to be rational in that. Whatever you are charging, you have to explain to the patient. Again, as I said, it is not about argument. It is not about losing your cool. You have to be positive. You have to be calm. You have to be, say, rational. You have to be in a conveying sense to the patient. So it is not about winning or satisfaction. It is actually finding a solution which is favorable to both. So as I said, bargaining is like debating. But then people who have good communication skills or manipulation skills or verbal skills, as we say, जो ऊंची बोल गया, जो ज्यादा डाल गया, वो जीत जाता है. And when the dentist or the doctor is in a negative mindset or say defensive mindset, not negative, but defensive mindset on a back foot, he'll tend to चल यार इतने ही आ जाए बहुत है. That is actually Punjabi में एक there is a proverb, जो वट्टिया सो खट्टिया, ना कुछ आने से अच्छा जो आ गया वो अच्छा. Again, that proverb doesn't go good down good with me. My dad was a big fan of that proverb. I am not. He actually advised me in the initial months of the clinic when I just started in the year 2000. So he said, पेशेंट आ रहा है तो जो वट्टिया सो खट्टिया वाली अप्रोच, तेरा क्या लग रहा है? मैं कहा, डैड बहुत कुछ लग रहा है, स्किल सेट लग रहा है. Again, I had no knowledge of management at that time, frankly speaking. That came much later in 2007 and 8. But then these are the things certainly you actually learn with experience. You learn while talking to the patient, because I had started my clinic almost 1.5 hours, 1.5 years of my graduation in 98. So I've been working in the hospital during that duration. So developed a bit of communication skill, developed a bit of say experiences we learn around, experiences that we absorb around us, that actually tell us how to talk and how to negotiate. So it is actually, the negotiation is a communication between two parties for a proper settlement. Again, don't confuse the word settlement for something lesser priced. You have to understand that settlement means you get the price, the patient gets the bargain, good treatment on time, zero waiting, no goof ups, no post operative problems, no pain, no sensitivity, no during treatment hassles, and all those things. There are multiple factors that the patient would want. And that is where the mindset has to change in India. We actually fail to realize that the patient's mindset is not always about price, it is about service. Priorly, it is about service. Yes, exceptions are there where the price is only the criteria, but those people are, say, very, say, few and far in between. We actually tend to believe that the people who want good service are far and few, which is actually the reverse. So in dentistry scenario, when actually both the parties, the dentist and the patient, they keep haggling over the price of the product, in our case, the service. We don't consider the other aspect of a deal. Deal means whatever treatment we are going to do in this case. So this becomes bargaining. When you actually add the value of your service coupled with the internal marketing factors, we need to understand that that is where our upper hand is. And our, we are not actually selling commodities, we are not actually selling goods. So we have to understand the concept of value in the negotiation. Or I mean to say, the dentist has to make the patient understand. And actually, when the patient start making the comparisons, बाजू वाला तो 500 में कर रहा है, आप 1000 में क्यों कर रहे हो? Then we say, हम अच्छे मटेरियल यूज करते हैं, उसका नहीं पता वो क्या यूज करते हैं. You don't supposed to badmouth your colleagues, number one. Then it is a personal choice what we offer and what they offer. You don't have to, you don't actually really know also what they offer. You're just making an assumption about it. You should be focused about your this thing. What you service, what service you provide to the patient. And we need to realize that dentistry is not a commodity. It is a service which is a value added service, as they say VAS. So bargaining is actually when one party gets cheaply or what they expect or what they want. Negotiation is actually deliberation over multiple issues, which I just named you. So just a funny take, $600, no deal. 650 with a 1 year warranty, let's do it. Just a little addition. Then when I sometimes say that he actually, I actually pass on the lab warranty to the patient, this is actually a part of negotiation as well. I'm not giving warranty from my own. I don't give warranty on my restorations or fillings or whatever procedures. Yes, I am there at the back of the patient if anything happens so very soon. Usually it won't if I take care in the first instance. But if I'm getting warranty from the lab and if I'm passing it to the patient with riders which suit me, probably at a 10% or 15% cost liability, whenever, if at all, it is needed. So that is a part of negotiation only. We actually fail to realize. We just go a broad mindset है ना, dentistry, no guarantees, no warranties. अरे यार, you're not trying to give it from your own. You're just passing. The lab has given it to you for the patient only, not for you only. Technically, it becomes your duty. Again, it is an individual mindset. I will not go into debate about that. It is a personal mindset. I do that, and I do that since almost the say fifth year of my clinic. But if I'm getting from back, then only I'm doing it. If for any service or if any say procedure from the lab I'm not getting it, I'm not passing it on, and that thing is conveyed. But then the negotiation is all about, as I said, multiple factors, and this is one factor in that, and which is conveyed beautifully in this humorous slide. So then the second reason, we have not been trained. We have been trained not to reveal emotions. We are supposed to be actually say very poker faced. We actually can't be divulging much about what is going inside us. Agar koi patient Caro is an NRI, and if let's suppose we are charging 50,000 for a few services and we quote 1 lakh, and the NRI says okay 90,000 I will pay, we actually don't show emotions at that point only. We man mein chahe laddu phut rahe ho. So that is where the things are actually going in a different direction. Then sometimes patient का एक्सरे देखिए कुछ लोग करते हैं in my town also. Oh my God, what is this? ये क्या बना दिया आपके एक्सरे में? Then we need to be able to control our emotions. To be good negotiator, we need to communicate emotions effectively as well. What emotions? Surprise at other side's opening negotiation. Shock at their audacity in making such an outrageous proposal. So anger that the other side is not willing to be more reasonable, and outrage at what you feel is a breach of faith. You actually should not be indulging in any of these emotions outwardly. You should be balanced, you should be controlled, you should laugh it off sometimes, and you have to be completely in control of your emotions. Again, as I said, you should not frustrate over it. If the patients can still offer you. Somebody walked into my clinic last month in February, I guess, last month. He said, Doctor, you were charging 200 for a restoration uh, 6 months back before COVID. Now you're charging 1,200. You have raised it 6 times. I just laughed it off and said, Sir, when I opened up my clinic in year 2000, at that time I charged 250 for a restoration. It was never 200, even in 22 years of my practice or 22nd year of my practice. So the patient was again dumbstruck, said how quickly and how calmly I responded to that. Of course, I cannot even go down to half of the current price, what I'm doing to the patient right now. I can't do it even at 600. I can't do even at 800 if I'm charging 1,200. Again, it is okay to get upset sometimes, but actually you should not be showing your emotions in that sense. When we actually get upset and lose control over our emotions, that is where we actually lose our skill set as a negotiator. People tend to believe that the one who can balance himself mentally better can actually treat us better. Sometimes some patients will try to take a test of yours as well. They'll actually try to say, like an Indian mindset, they'll try to poke you with a bargain offer, or as I give the example many times. How many restorations? 6. Okay, doc. How much you charge? Let's suppose 1,000. Okay, 5 plus 1 free. I'll pay you 5,000. Do 6. Do all of them once. So I always reply, please don't get into this bargain offer. You are actually saving on time. You're saving on sittings. You're saving on petrol. I am going to take the same amount of time, same amount of say material, same amount of skill set. So actually, you are saving. You should pay me for 6 plus 1. Pay me 7,000 for doing all those 6 in one sitting. Again, when conveyed calmly and coolly, you can actually be a better negotiator. The patient knows it, that yes, he's saving it. Again, you have to do your homework, and you have to know where the patient can get benefited. It is not always about what you are losing. It should always be about what the other person is gaining. So you have to be calm and convey to the patient very relaxed way. Then bargaining is about focusing on who is right. Maybe competitive and win or lose, but then negotiation is totally about cooperative and being win-win situation for both. You get the desired price, the patient gets the good treatment, the patient gets it on time, the patient gets it, say, quality based. So that is where we have to understand to find the common ground, which actually suits both the parties, the patient and the dentist. And again, price should never be there. Then we come across patients who are actually Google patients, as we say. Please explain me in details about the treatment. It's not so simple. Doc, I already know about the procedure. Tell me something new. Again, nothing to be frustrated about it. Every patient or every second patient is a Google patient these days. We need to understand that. So we find ourselves actually say, as they say, when we bargain, they try to nickel and dime. Nickel and dime means they just say are concerned about the price. We will have such patients who are bothered only about the price, irrespective of what background they come from. Yes, for a poor patient, you can understand, but for a super rich patient who actually tries to do that, you actually don't understand. And you won't actually do a personal attack as well. I'll come to the negotiation strategies as well. There are some hardball tactics which we should not resort to, and personal attack is one of them. We usually do, आप तो इतने करोड़पति हो, आपको क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, दे दो. Again, that is for me going down the belt. Of course, nothing wrong in that line, but that is something going below the respectful line. You don't need to cross that line. Then sometimes if the patient is hell bent on, say, irrespective of what you explain, is hell bent on only on pricing, then you go off strict and ask straightforward, tell me please what you really want. So then when we actually try to explain to the patient that ये इतना तो इसमें 1000 रुपए का काम है, इसमें लेट्स सपोज इसमें 800 900 तो लैब का और मटेरियल का मिला के आ जाएगा, बचेगा क्या 100 रुपया. If you are trying to convey to the patient that you are earning peanuts out of your work, he'll think in his mind, डॉक्टर अगर 100 रुपए ही बचता तो प्रोफेशन बदल लो. Actually, he won't say it, but this thing will go into the mind. And trust me, many of the dentists tread this path. They actually try to make the patient aware that हमारे तो इसमें 80% है, 10-20% बचता है सिर्फ. As the common shopkeeper say, this might be true for Karyana goods. It might be true for many other, retail shopkeepers or maybe wholesalers as well. But it does not hold good for our profession. Hold true also, hold good also. In saying sense, in coming sense. So then we then ask him what he wants us to eliminate from the scope of work offered. It is simple. कहता है price कम कर दो, आप बोलो सर्विस कौन सी कम करनी, इसमें क्या करना. Usually he says काम सारा करना है, price मैं ये वाला दूंगा. It can be 60%, 70% of what it is there. 1000 रुपए का ही से I'll give you 600, 700. Again, I'm just taking an example. It might be 60,000, it might be 50,000 as well. But then the real call lies in the value. For the patient, the scope and the pricing, कि कितना काम और कितना price are the criteria. And we actually want to provide him with a good outcome. And that is where we can have an upper hand when we try to initiate or instigate the value in that. And unless we do that, unless we try to explain the patient logically, without backbiting our colleagues, even if the patient makes a reference of your neighbor dentist or any other colleague, you are supposed to reply back without those colleagues in your reference point. That should be the bottom line aim. Totally eliminate that. The patient will again try second time also, but if you again eliminate, he will never come to that answer. And when you actually talk about the scope and the pricing, and then you provide with a good outcome, we actually can stop the bargaining there in its track. If you say, if the outcome is not desirable, or if the end result is not what you want, who would be responsible? Of course, the dentist. The patient will say it is the dentist. But from the dentist point, end में हम क्या बोलते हैं? मैं तो फिर इतना ही करके दूंगा ना, पेशेंट ने अगर पैसे नहीं पूरे दिए तो. Go back to the first step. गलती किसकी थी? Yours. You were all in a position of power to choose the patient, choose the price, or if I say with the commas, choose the deal. You chose it. So you are supposed to deliver it. If you are not delivering it, you are actually losing the patient for future. which is not the aim. We want the retention of the patient as well. But then is this becomes a continuous excuse. And even if he sends you a referral, वो जितना बोलेगा उसका तो 30% डाल के डेंटिस्ट को बोलना, वो मान जाएगा. मैंने ऐसे ही किया था. So the word spreads quickly. You have to realize this thing. If we do it once, we are opening up a whole can of worms for the patient, patient's family, patient's friends, and patient's say references. If we stick to our quality and take lesser price, just कि हमारी EMI due है. But if you do the reverse, कि पैसे तो कम मिल ही रहे हैं, why should I be bothered? पेशेंट आएगा, बैठा रहने दो, वेट कराओ, कोई बात नहीं. क्योंकि वो माइंडसेट शुरू से है, अपने को कौन सा पूरे पैसे मिलने हैं. Why did you agree to the deal? Stop it there and then only. Drop it at the first phase. It is very easy to reverse the things at the first step. It is very easy to handle a problem, even in a medical legal scenario, at the first step. If you shun your ego at that point, trust me, it becomes a lot easier. Really? किसकी गलती थी? पेशेंट की, क्योंकि उसने कम पैसे दिए. We agreed for it ourselves at the start, didn't we? सुपर एंड में हल्ला किस बात का? It is your mistake. Even medical legal point of view से भी आपकी mistake है. You agree to a price. You both agree to the same thing in the same sense. I'll get this quality. I'll pay this price. You agree to what the patient said. The patient was actually overpowering you. You agree to it. Then why are you making hue and cry? If you did not envisage कि हाँ, तो आपने 10,000 का काम था, 6,000 में आप करने में, 7,000 में करने में मान गए. प्रोसीजर में कुछ और निकल आया, एक्स्ट्रा काम निकल आया, कोर बिल्डअप का पोस्ट एंड कोर निकल आया, कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशन हो गई साथ में. ऑब्वियसली सम थिंग्स विल ऐड टू कॉस्ट. वो 10 का 12,000 हो गया. टेक्निकली यू आर डूइंग इट एट 50%. किसकी गलती है? यू. कहाँ गलती है? फर्स्ट स्टेप, कंसल्टेशन टाइम. इफ यू हैड कोटेड दैट price, maybe the patient could not have converted, or maybe the patient could have converted at the price you wanted. You were not actually, say, powerful enough mentally. You were on the back foot. That is where the problem lies. So that is why I say the conversion and the consultation are related to this part. Because for a positive conversion of the patient, we actually say fell for the price bargain. Again, problem kahan pe hai? Our EMI is due. Our month has not been that great. Whose fault? Who told you to go beyond your means if you are not having a good amount of income to go for a bigger loan, that you have to struggle every month for an EMI? All these things are related. That is why I say practice and finance are related. And in between, ML is attached to it. You agree to a procedure because of the lesser price and you commit a goof up. अपने आप को समझाते हो क्या हो गया, पेशेंट ने पैसे कम ही दिए. Where lies the fault? You can't escape from the, say, arm of law if you commit a negligence, even if the patient has paid nothing for it. Even if the patient has paid nothing for it. So ground for conflict and payment was in the end. अब एंड में पेशेंट कहेगा काम तो उतना मजा नहीं, आपने तो बोला था सारा काम करूंगा, 10,000 का आपको 7,000 देना है, वो 7 का भी आपको 6 देके जाता है. Whose fault? We didn't actually bother. हमें माइंडसेट शुरू से वही था, पेशेंट ने पेमेंट तो देनी नहीं है, तो why should we be doing our best? But then why did you agree to it in the first sense, in the first place? That is what I'm saying. Again, we'll have some issues at this. Patients will then again bargain at the end. The RCT has come very well. Please pay the cost at the reception. Yes, there might be different. We charge the cost beforehand the procedure. There can be various debates. But what I'm trying to say is, most of the clinics they usually charge after the procedure. Now, thank you for the treatment, but can we reduce the price treatment a little more? That is where the written part of the consent, where the treatment charges are covered as well, come to the play. If you have done that written part very well, you can be assured that this will never happen. And then if you have been very, very, say, honest and dedicated in your approach, and the patient understands the value in what you have done, he will actually say, never do this thing. And sometimes we feel exhausted. We are exhausted and we feel irritated if some patient asks. I always say, try to laugh these things off. When a patient This happens with me also sometimes. Even after the pre-detailing, even after the written consent, this happens with me. So what is the solution? The patient says, डॉक्टर फिर कम करें. My answer is मैंने किसी चीज में आपको कम किया. Then why? Let's stick to what we promised. आप अगली बारी जब मेरे से डील करोगे ना, हम कम में डील करेंगे. Again, that is a verbal thing. A joke exchanged in the form of a joke. The patient won't say next time, आपने पिछली बारी बोला था कि आप डील में कम करोगे. सर वो मजाक की बात थी, मजाक में थी. डील थोड़ा करते हैं हम लोग. दिस इज अ प्रोसीजर, हेल्थ केयर प्रोसीजर. आपने मजाक किया, मैंने आपसे वापस मजाक कर दिया. दैट्स इट. We had agreed on the written thing. We had agreed on the verbal thing. So there was no debate about it. So let's stick to it. The patient, if he comes back to you, that makes you sure that you have actually delivered in the first place. The patient is happy. The patient is willing to be your attention patient. We feel that the patient comes to us because we gave him the lesser price. Again, I have a full book on pricing and charging. You all, I have shared many articles on pricing and charging before also. But then, where did this start all from? The bargaining at the consultation table. The problem, sometimes we actually didn't sit at the table as well. The patient asked, डॉक्टर साहब कितने पैसे लगेंगे? वो कोई बात नहीं, आप बैठो देख लेंगे, आपसे ज्यादा थोड़ा लेंगे. Whatever the procedure is, then the payment was at the end. We actually need to understand, when the patient starts bargaining, we shift into the mode of negotiation. And that is where your skill set is required to be very creative, to ask the right clarifying questions, and what exactly is the value of the procedure being done to the patient. And again, until you think, until you ask, it will not be there. We need to change our track in that sense. Then you will have this kind of situation also. I have a treatment appointment. You have a treatment appointment today. Sorry, I had a lot of onion and garlic. Hope you don't mind. Yes, we are the saviors of oral cavity. We are the sweepers of oral cavity. We'll sweep out all the onion and garlic. Again, in a funny sense. So, how to handle that? So, there are three main things. If you actually want to get off that narrow-minded bargainer's track, अगर पेशेंट बार्गेनिंग कर रहे हैं, आप वापस बार्गेनिंग कर रहे हो, then you are actually debating, fighting and shouting, maybe in a lesser tone, which is actually not recommended. For negotiation, you need three things. What are those? Number first is education. Questions, questions, questions. Asking the right questions. Why it is important to you? What is important to you? Push the boundaries. Ask the value. Then, which may not be obvious to the patient at first. Actually, again, the value is traced in those questions. अगर एक दांत ये चला गया तो साथ वाले दांत खराब हो जाएंगे, तो आपके इस बचाने के दांत, उसकी जगह आप इम्प्लांट लगवाओगे या ब्रिज लगवाओगे, तो सोचो इतना खर्चा हो जाएगा. The patient, I always say, if you fail at certain logics of explaining it to the patient, always stick to mathematics. चाहे illiterate है, चाहे literate है, चाहे कम educated है, चाहे most educated है, मैथमेटिक्स इंडिया में सबको समझ आता है. If you explain, let's suppose a root canal coherent crown is for 8,000 for a PFM crown, let's suppose, and the patient after the end of the treatment says, और भी cavity देख लो, you have 5 more cavities. How much you charge for a restoration? Let's suppose 1,000. The total is 5,000. तो 5,000 लगेगा. 5,000, चलो जब टाइम मिलेगा करा लूंगा. हाँ, जब आपके पास 40,000 होंगे तब आप करा लेना. शायद 40 का तब तक 50 भी हो जाए. Again, the value of the procedure. What you have multiplied is 8,000 of that cost into 5. कि अगर आप डिले करेंगे तो ये 8,000 into 5 40 लगेगा. शायद उस वक्त तक 50,000 हो जाए ट्रीटमेंट. If you're not willing to spend 5,000 now, creating the value in patient's mind that the doctor is not interested in charging 40 or 50,000 from me. He's happy to make me aware and charge 5,000 from me. Let me, these small little things make a big impression in patient's mind. And again, as I mentioned, I keep on getting this compliment from the patient. I take it as a compliment कि आपने टाइम पे बता दिया, फिलिंग कर लिए, मेरे पैसे बच गए. And then I say, then I don't try to lift my collar and say, yes, I'm the boss, I'm the Mogambo. No, I don't say that. I said, no. More than that, you were saved from the pain. आपने तकलीफ जो सहनी थी, आप उससे बचे. आपने जो बार बार चक्कर लगाने थे, पेट्रोल करना था, टाइम खराब करना था, आप उससे बचे. So it is a win-win situation for both of you. You got the 5,000 you wanted at your price. The patient was saved of certain things. So patient को जो है उस value के बारे में reality नहीं चाहिए होती है. Perception is created. Perception is more important in today's times. Branding जब हम करते हैं, जब when we say about the branding part, what is it? It is nothing but a perception in the patient's mind. हाँ यार, उनकी दुकान का नाम बहुत है, उनके क्लिनिक का नाम बहुत है. He's a respected dentist. He's a valued dentist. That is how the brand grows. Branding does not mean कि शहर में आपके पोस्टर लग गए बड़े बड़े. You actually grow in perception in the imagination of the patient. So that is what it actually becomes that. Then expanding the treatment pie. So instead of subtracting things, figure out what we can add to get a win-win. Patient says, पैसे तो आपके इतने ही हैं, चलो what I'll do is I'll do an oral prophylaxis for free. Again, some might find it unethical. It's not. You are not actually going beyond the line. You're actually offering a value-added service. Normally I charge 2,000. I'll give it to you for free as a part of being a good gesture. You can't provide like a 999 service and you are providing say 60,000 of benefits in 99999. It is not possible. You will understand. 60,000 का सामान 9,000 में कोई नहीं देता. It is just the inflated value. So don't say आप 10,000 का काम करा रहे हो, मैं आपको 20,000 की scaling free देता हूँ. Nobody charges 20,000 for a scaling. Everyone knows that as well. Yes, people know 1,000, 1,500, नहीं तो 2,000. Again, depending upon tier 1, 2, 3 cities. So make a say अगर फट्टा मारना भी है ना, थोड़ा छोटा मारो. Don't make a bigger one. Then if you ask enough questions, you will know how you can add extras. Patients को और क्या क्या problem है. Again, I'll go to my practice management slides from where I start. Under say understanding the patient's needs and the wants. The more you listen to the patient, by question एक line में होता है, answer एक line में नहीं होगा patient का. But then that is where you have to be patient. All this communication happens on a table, not on the phone, not while there are 3 patients sitting in the waiting. Proper time allocated, again, to big ticket cases usually. You talk out to the patient, you understand, you listen more, be having space between your ears. So then you can add value in that. कि patient को ये भी एक छोटी कमी है, which the procedure which does not hurt you, you can add as a value added service, which sometimes people call it कि मैंने free दे दी. It is a personal choice. Then कई बार क्या होता है, वो main topic से different हो जाते हैं, but then who cares? You are actually say in a situation where we are actually negotiating. It is a win-win. You actually, rather than reducing the price, you just offered a free prophylaxis. Maybe a small buccal pit, maybe a keratage, maybe a little, say, loose tooth extraction, whatever. A small service which does not hurt you in the larger scheme of the things. There is nothing wrong in that. And that is not unethical from the Dental Council of India point of view as well. Then make it personal sometimes. You may be dealing a Dewey with a huge thing, but behemoth, but you are negotiating with people who have their own issues, problems, and agendas. That is where you need to understand how you can make most effective use of the time, how you can make effective use of patients' time, build trust, never back them into a corner. Remember this thing. Still, the best way to learn to negotiate well is to do it. And बेस्ट चीज नेगोशिएशन में ये होती है कि हर दोनों चलो दिस इज अबाउट आर एंड द पेशेंट, बट नेगोशिएशन कैन हैपन इन मल्टीपल पीपल एज वेल व्हेन एवरीवन वॉक्स अप बिलीविंग दैट दे हैव गॉट अ गुड डील. चल पैसे उतनी है, साथ में फ्री स्केलिंग तो मिल गई, हु केयर्स? एंड that makes them come back and do say have business with you another day. Another important aspect of the clinic, retention of the patients. So as I say, negotiation is a science and an art. Like dentistry, bargaining is shouting and debating, nothing else. So indulge in negotiation. And where there is science, it will require some systematic analysis as well. What it is, do your homework. Know yourself and your opponent. Again, one of my few slides of practice management. Know yourself first. Know your patient. Know your patient's socioeconomic background. Know your patient source of referral. All those things. Know what you want. What your reserve price is, if I talk in the say building or the say land language, So what are the consequences of a no deal? If you have literally have a big EMI looming up, again, going to that point, what made you pick that big EMI process if you're not having those means to pay it off? So if you're hell-bent on reducing, ideally you should not. क्या consequences? Just make a mental note of it both ways and try to determine these things for your opponent, not opponent in this case, but your patient. But then there are certain situations you need to know about the patients also. Some patients will pay you what you want, but they can be a big pain in you know what. Paranoid patients, anxiety patients. So will I faint after for 1 hour after the filling? Or will extraction cause a hair loss? Or will extraction cause a vision loss? Or is the restoration में infection हो जाएगा? Will I faint during the procedure? Will it pain after anesthesia also? We all come across such paranoid patients. And that is where it is very, very important to know about your patient. So what I talked just before, it is more about perception rather than the reality. And negotiator has to create a value of perception. Because reality तो तब होगी ना जब आप करोगे. Negotiation is happening before the procedure. You have to create a reality. You have to create a value in perception firstly. And then it is all about under promise and over deliver. You have to cross that. Don't say मैं आपकी फीलिंग ऐसी करूंगा चांद जैसी चमकेगी. चांद जैसी कैसे चमकेगी फीलिंग आपकी? You need to, चांद में भी दाग होते हैं तो क्या आप उसमें पिट्स डाल के दोगे फीलिंग में? नहीं, you can't. So you need to understand that. So we believe that if the other side believes your version to be true, so it is going to be true. So the main game changer in your negotiation, apart from other thing, is the reality versus the perception goal. A perception की बहुत common example 1945 में. You all know USA dropped 2 bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Japanese surrendered because they believed that US had huge arsenal of atomic bombs, which they could actually destroy the whole of Japan. It was a perception made. US didn't have any extra bombs other than 2. They actually had built 2 bombs only. And they used both of them in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And even if they were to make one, they would need at least 60 days. And in a war time, 60 days is a lot of time. But the Japanese did not know that. So that perception was enough for them to surrender. That is what I'm saying. We have to make the patient surrender to what we want. But then remember and understand the game, the real game begins after that. Because you have promised whatever, over or under, you have to exceed those expectations. There is no two way about it. Because if you don't do that, in the end, you will have again a problem of a patient. Even if the patient has agreed in written or in the verbal for the payment agreed upon, however advance you may charge, you obviously can't charge 100% advance, but some portion would be left. That portion would be confiscated. That is for sure. If you don't deliver, creating a perception and value is one thing, but delivering is another. Again, we call this as a deceptive thing, but then we have to service the perception in the patient's mind. If you have options, जब आप patient को options देते हो ना बहुत सारी, yes, if you have a missing tooth, I have an implant, I have a bridge, I have a Maryland, I have a cast partial, I have a removable, whatever, all the options I have. Maybe your patient's second or the third say consulting dentist. Maybe the original dentist or the second dentist did not give him all the options. Actually, options will give you power and widen your horizons, that you are a better service provider having all the facilities. What you are doing by that is creating in patients. Obviously, patient is not going to physically check all the facilities. You know it, you offer it, you deliver it. That is why you are conveying to the patient. So you need to understand that part, that it gives you more power. And sooner or later, not for this, maybe for another procedure, the patient will come back or send you a referral. यार महंगा है पर उसके पास चीज सारी अवेलेबल है. वो कहीं भी नहीं जो चीज मिलती है वो उसके पास मिलेगी. Again, how will you convey this thing that you have all the options on the consultation table during first consultation, during your talk with the patient for a conversion from a yes or a no? This is the table of the negotiation. So all these things are actually related to each other. So I don't advocate lying, do not overpromise, but if you have options, if you offer better services, if you offer more services, you have better control over the bargain. Patient side, if I speak the bargain, your side, it is the negotiation. So we are actually trained to gather all the facts before determining solutions. That is our standard training method, the standing operating procedure. But then we make any kind of judgment, we avoid that making because we want to listen to the patient first. That is an excellent model, but a poor way to resolve conflicts sometimes. Why? What are those commonest negotiation tactics? As I said, projecting emotions when you're negotiating. Help patient understand your concern by showing it. When tell them what they can lose actually if they don't undergo the treatment. And you should actually be concerned about it. Even if it is a missing tooth, even it is a decayed tooth, even any kind of a situation. Then deal in perception and not just reality. It makes a difference in patient's mind that your skill set and your service parameters are widened. And then in those cases, immediately the price will become a secondary condition. आप चीज बोलो आपको क्या चाहिए. Then focus shifts to time, sitting and patient experience. कि सर्विस कैसी मिलती है, स्टाफ कैसा है, बिहेवियर कैसा है, वेटिंग कितनी है, सिटिंग कितनी कम से कम लगेंगी, साफ सुथरा है, of course those things are there. So all these things become a factor then immediately. Then find a solution before gathering information. As I said, do your homework, know about your patient. When you call the patient for the treatment planning, you should have studied all the previous notes or radiographs or any kind of diagnostic aids, and you should have solutions to their problems beforehand. But then during the time of consultation, let them vent first. That golden rule stays the same. You have to actually let the patient speak first and pick a position what they think that, because as I said, patients will be Google patients as well. They'll come out कि हम डॉक्टर ये कर सकते हैं, ये कर सकते हैं. They'll try to actually impose a treatment plan upon you. Don't try to intervene. Don't try to stop them in between. Let them go about it. But once they are done, then go about the pros and the cons of explaining the things. What Google gave them example, what you are giving them the suggestion, and why you are giving it. And more importantly, you need to give an honest opinion, honest consultation, which should be a verifiable as well. Even if the patient wants a second opinion on your consultation or your suggested plan, that should be 100% true. And I told you many a times, I have become patient's first dentist after being the third consultation for the patient. I always say patient has a primary dentist and patient has a Google dentist. So you need to understand those things. Then understand that conflict can be good as well. If you disagree with the patient, does not mean that you express this the patient to compromise. Because your thought process, your suggestions, your treatment protocols will be, say, dependent of or say based on evidence-based dentistry, because you have the scientific backing to show the patient the reasons. And if the patient disagree, you should stand your ground. Do not compromise for the patient stand. If the patient is a good paying patient, you know from the patient's say scientific, say socioeconomic background, and for a missing tooth opts for a gum stripper or the normal RPD, conventional RPD, refuse that because you know you are doing harm for the patient. So the ethic principle says beneficence and non-beneficence. Doing only good, doing no harm. You're actually doing harm by giving a RPD to a patient with the wires, with a 21-20 gauge wire. You know that. But then when you disagree or the patients disagree with you, if they have their mindset, say, loaded with the Google opinions or maybe with their past perceptions, नहीं डॉक्टर रूट कनाल कराने के बाद तो दांत टूट ही जाता है, मैंने देखा हुआ है बहुत. Don't take it on your ego. Don't say, I am the doctor or I am the dentist, I know better. Don't go into that syndrome. And we all should know that loss is a tolerable risk. If the patient denies compromising, it is better to tell the patient a better place. The patient, if let's suppose you are charging 4,000 for a PFM crown, doctor मैंने पिछला तो 1500 में लगवाया था. That 1,500 patient will never come to even 3,500. Even if you are ready to budge down to 500, from 4,000 to 3,500, let's suppose. He won't do that. It's better to refer him to a hospital, a charitable hospital. So you have to, even if you have to negotiate, it to be ethical and with the right tools. Do not use any lying. Do not use any improper procedures. Do not use any improper jargon. Do not use any, say, wrong tactics to lure the patient. And bargain offers with a asterisk come into that as well. Those are unethical. So proper standardization treatment is a must. And don't settle for a patient who is not ready to work according to you. Because many times negotiations will fall beyond that. So the number of issues can change the style, and it is often better if the discussion is only on price. It is best to ask, as I said before, what do you want, and never ever negotiate on the phone. Always negotiate on the table, and the timing of the negotiation. Sometimes you are in a bad mood. Sometimes you just got off a, say, failure of a procedure. Maybe the patient was paranoid. Maybe you were engulfed in a personal problem. Many of those things can happen. So timing has to be very crucial in the time of whenever you have to deal with it. So patients will have time constraints and time related cost reasons as well. So if you know your patient's reasons, 4 दिन बाद शादी है, 6 दिन बाद flight है, whatever reason, these things can work according to your advantage. But then be ready to deliver what you promise. If you can't deliver, time related constraint, whatever reason, do your homework. If you can't deliver, then you're going to lose the patient's whole family for long. So it's always better that you don't indulge into hard bargaining tactics and don't make a wrong commitment. And there are better ways, by building trust, by asking questions, by exploring differences. There are ways to talk it out. And in the end, I would always say, and any negotiation would end with the line, बात करने से ही बात बनती है. Unless you talk with the patient, बात बनेगी नहीं. So what is the summary? Agreed in the same sense, in the same thing, in the same sense. So we must know what is negotiation and what is a bargain. So bargain and negotiation skills are important, but personal and professional life, we all should know this is a skill which you need to develop as well. And these are both the constructive ways to handle conflict, depending upon the situation. Mostly negotiation is. But then people believe that hard bargaining tactics are key to success. And some of the hard bargaining, like threats, extreme demands, unethical behavior, to get an upper hand in negotiation. And when it becomes a shouting or a, say, debating thing, then it no longer remains a negotiation. It becomes a bargain. So what are the wrong tactics? As I mentioned before, I'll be mentioning in the end, which should be avoided from both the parties. Extreme demands followed up by small, slow concessions. 4,000 का crown है, 1,500 में कर दो. Obviously, it is an extreme demand. 3,000 का हो, तो maybe you can work out, चलो, it's a poor patient, I'll give a 500, no problem. Again, it has to be in your mindset. Then take it or leave it. कराना है तो कराओ, नहीं तो जाओ. That is a wrong approach actually, which should not be resorted to. Then trying to make you flinch by making greater demands. 10,000 का प्रोसीजर है, 6,000 में कर दो, या 10,000 का प्रोसीजर है, 20,000 में करवा लो. People do it for NRI patients. Wrong approach. Then personal insults and feather ruffling. As I mentioned before, आप इतने अमीर हो, आपको क्या फर्क पड़ेगा 10-20 हजार से, आपको तो कराना चाहिए. And sometimes the patient will also make a personal attack. डॉक्टर साहब इतने कमाते हो, बाहर आपकी मर्सिडीज खड़ी है, हमें लूटने के लिए बैठे हो. Again, personal attacks, both the parties should not resort to. Then bluffing, puffing, and lying. All unethical tactics, should not be lying about it. Threats and warnings, of course. Belittling your alternatives. Don't do that. have a range, have options, and you know that. So do not underestimate a patient's ability to focus on these issues. They often can make a yes or no to a commitment. And mediocre soft skills will produce a mediocre response. So as I mentioned, this was a slide in the patient conversion as well. So I need to talk and my family's opinion. So these are the things which actually make you understand that you didn't provide the actual value. So the carry home Gyan, the aim of negotiation is to reach an agreement, agreeing on the same thing. So negotiation is not only consultation, it is about other parameters as well. It is which consultation is basically an exchange of opinions between the patient and the dentist. But then skillful negotiators developing your skill can turn consultation into a negotiation as well. There is no magic or mystery. There are 5 steps, as we say, for the best negotiating practices, which is the 5-step model. To prepare, exchange, bargain, conclude, and execute. This is for building trusting relationships. So 5 stages: prepare, identify the potential value, and begin to understand interest and develop a fact-based or evidence-based thing. Then information exchange and validation, create value, assess interest, build trust and rapport. Bargain, create and distribute value, address interest, make and manage concessions. Then conclude, capture value, confirm interest has been met, thank them. And then comes the most important part, stage 5, execute. Expand your value. When you give service, if you over deliver, मैंने जितना बोला था उससे अच्छा ही दिया मुझे, कि कुछ भी इनमें कमी नहीं है उस तरह से, जो ये कहते हैं वो करते हैं, उससे ज्यादा ही करते हैं. That should be the building point, and that should actually strengthen your relationships. So creating value and making it visible. And making it visible will only come when you are vocal, when you talk. These are the power moves in the shadow negotiation. So bargainer can't leave it up for other parties to puzzle through the possibilities. The benefits which you are providing have to be explicitly told if you want to have any impact. And if the value disappears in patient's mind or from your tongue when you speak, your influence and the bargaining power, not money wise, bargaining power to control a situation will actually decrease as well. So thank you so much for the patient hearing. So this is my address, my contact details, YouTube channel. Today also you will get a YouTube video. Yesterday there were 2 YouTube videos. Today also you'll get a YouTube video followed by 2 on Sunday as well. So minimum 1 or 2 videos I'm posting more. I'll be posting short videos the whole month of April, followed by webinars in May. So ID times, you all know, it's been 51 parts now. 52nd part will be there with you all in the mini paid group shortly. Social media presence all by my name, Dr. Pradeep. Do send your feedback in the WhatsApp group. Bouquets and brickbats both welcome in equal measure. Thank you so much for early morning presence, and I stop my share for questions from you. Yeah, feel free to answer any questions. I hope. Yep, 65 minutes I took.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Very nice brainstorming session in the morning, sir. Thank you very much. I just wanted to ask, I had a patient yesterday who just came inside and wanted to know if what is the charges for the filling. Then I asked, do you have any pain? He said, I have pain. I said, with pain, I may not even be able to fill. I have to really see and tell you what I have to do. He said, just if filling to be done, how much? I said, 1,000 rupees. He just walked away, sir.
It's okay. No problem in that. Nothing wrong in that. It's the patient's choice. It's a patient's choice. If he's just the price monger, if he's just, say, window shopper, it's better he was eliminated at the first step only. You can't treat all the patients who walk in. Need to understand that. Don't count that patient in your conversion list.
Yes, sir. It's okay to lose such patients.
It's okay. They didn't deserve you. That's the only thing. Be positive about it.
It's a great approach, sir. You really describe the difference between negotiation and bargaining, where to stand, How do you see it? It's really a very wonderful topic for the day, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dr. Madhvi asks, sometimes patients tell you, doctor, whatever you feel best for me, don't worry about money, how to tackle it. Then it is up to you to decide what suits the patient. For example, the patient might be having a good affordability. I give you an example. You're supposed to give a crown on the patient's tooth, maybe a root canal treated or a normal one. Uh, that's aside. But you look at the bite of the patient, and the opposite side has a lot of attrition. Middle-aged patient, 45, 50, you actually won't decide a zirconia or even a PFM for that patient. You'll decide the middle one. But then you should not straight away blindly go about that task. Explain the patient about that part. Why are you opting for a middle crown in such a case? Because your opposite dentition is already not in a good condition for that. Just take it as an example. So if the patient says, no, doc, I don't want a metallic thing, then let the patient know about those harmful effects if the PFM or a zirconia is given to the opposite dentition. And take that in written and tell that. Because if anything harm happens, if the opposite tooth is ground more, is grand, you can, if it happens in that direction, then the patient is again going to blame you as well. You need to make sure, if you are in a position of power, don't make a wrong choice just for your own benefit. Because obviously, if we choose a zirconia, it will suit us. It might not suit the patient. So choose a thing which will actually, but make sure whatever you choose, you convey to the patient and have that in written as well. If the patient leaves it on to you, even then, let's suppose it is a normal situation. And if the patient says, choose the best for me, and you feel the situation is apt to go for a zirconia single crown, choose that. Again, convey to the patient, because the patient might say, many patients come to me, do the best crown for me. I said, my best crown is 28,000 rupees. Lava premium, 3M Lava premium. नहीं डॉक्टर इतना भी नहीं है मेरी पॉकेट में. You said best, I'm conveying you, because sometimes the patient will say, आपको best बोला था तो best का price तो बता देते मेरे को. Choose whatever you feel is best according to the situation. If the patient leaves the decision onto you, but convey to the patient and have that in written as well. I hope my answer is clear.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Dr. Ajay asks, if patient says your treatment is good, we want treatment from you, but as we are very old patients of yours, please do something for charges. What to do in this case, sir? Only thing I told you to add those things which can actually create a value. You are my old patients, you are my loyal patients. The charges remain the same. Add a freebie in that. As I mentioned, oral profile access or anything. Maybe say gift hamper, maybe oral hygiene kit, anything similar. You can add to create a value. Do not compromise on charges, as even for the old patients. You need to understand, you make them understand that with the rising inflation, everything is going costly. I'm still charging you 1 year old price, 2 year old price because of COVID. Let's suppose you're doing that because of COVID. I'm not charging you the enhanced price. Take that as a discount, but still, if even if the patient wants, offer any freebie if you want, but do not reduce the prices, even in cases of old patients. The old patients have chosen you for your skill set and for your services. They haven't chosen you for the prices. Remember that. It is an Indian mentality to try for a, say, discount. Don't we do it? प्याज के साथ धनिया free. We all do it. So why not? Why won't the patient will try as well? So don't do that. Any more queries?
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Sometimes, like for full mouth cases, we plan for a particular treatment and then we quote the cost to the patient. They agree to that. So, should that come in the consent forms?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The treatment cost, the whole treatment cost should come in the generalized consent form initially, because for a full mouth, you are going to take multiple consents. For endo, for extraction if needed, for any prosthetic part, you're going to take that. But usually for a generalized consent part where you mention the patient about your consultation, your terms and conditions, and the total costing, that should come in the generalized consent, and that should be there again with the rider of plus minus 10% or 15%, whatever margin you want to take. It should be in black and blue, especially for long cases. I advise usually for every, say, even a medium ticket case, anything above 10,000 should be there in the written, surely. If you can inculcate the cost in every consent form, it would be wonderful.
So when patients sometimes start delaying the payments after a particular point, how can we handle that?
Like what?
Like for the full mouth cases, supposing it is 2.5 lakhs ka case, and they have paid 1.5 to us, and then they start saying कि इतना तो कर ही दिया, बाकी payment के लिए परेशान क्यों, वो भी आ ही जाएगा, and we have delivered more than what we have received.
Agreed. But then that is where I always say, when you chalk out the consultation process, you have to chalk out the payment stages as well. Which stages the patient is supposed to make how much payment. And once that thing is there with the written treatment plan, that this stage we charge this stage we charge this, the patient is very clear that you have to pay this much at this stage. And the patient should be, again, it all starts from the start itself. You both have to agree in the same thing in the same sense, as I said. So convey to the patient that this is the process before the start. But for that, you should be mentally very clear that you are going to do whatever procedures, and the patient is supposed to pay. And of course, with the other thing that you're coming on time, and you're uh, fulfilling the other instructions given to them as well. So all those things are to be conveyed to the patient initially as well.
Okay, so thank you.
So,
Yeah.
so especially for the relatives, how to deal in these cases? Like they do after the treatment, and in spite of conveying before the start of the treatment, at the end they like bargain or they say, "Itna mein hi kar do sir," ऐसे.
Again, the protocols should not change. If you are doing a written protocol for any treatment, relatives usually will have a long treatment to usually whenever they come, and usually they will chicken out after a certain procedure. Chalo itna to discount kar hi do. So the written thing applies to everyone. So I don't think any shortcut should be made in that part. But then you should keep a margin of whatever discount you want to give. 10%, 15, 20. 20 should be the upper limit, what I believe. But again, it is a personal choice what you want to give to the patient. But conveying it before and conveying it firmly along with written, it surely helps. And it should help in cases of relatives as well. And you should be very, say, professional in your approach. ये नहीं है कि वो बुआ है, चाचा है, मामा ताया है, तो you should be actually, say, relaxing a bit. Whatever it is, you should convey it कि clinic की policy के हिसाब से I do that. But then I do find sometimes that the patients, especially who are relatives, they start taking advantage of the situation. Like 10 बजे बुलाया तो 11 बजे आएंगे, and they'll say हम आपके जानकार है, थोड़ा आज काम पड़ गया, ये हो गया. They'll make all sorts of excuses. Professionalism helps in the first stage when you convey your clinic rules, and that is where you sit at the table, and negotiation helps you deal that with those aspects as well. You need to make the patient understand that you work according to a certain protocol, certain system, be it the time wise, be it the payment wise, and you all have to adhere to it very strictly.
So good morning, sir. Can I have a question?
Sure.
I started an ortho treatment for my patients, and it was 6 months back. And we have started with the Damon appliance, and I have covered 4 visits. Now the patient got shifted to another place. Initially, they charged around the total charges for 40,000 for the alignment and 4,000 for the 18 years. The patient has paid 30,000 till now. And now she is saying that she won't be able to come back for a treatment for the follow-up. And she is asking whether it's possible to give a refund, partial refund or something. How to proceed with this?
To find a reference in the city where the patient is going.
Okay.
Find a reference means a colleague, friend, a batchmate, a junior, whatever.
Okay.
You should be having that. And the thing should be mutual between the you two.
Okay.
Either ask the dentist to do in the remaining sum, or you adjust the sum to the dentist rather than
Okay.
giving to the
Patient.
patient. Because
Okay.
in this case, you started the case, the moral responsibility lies on you.
Okay.
So if the patient leaves, you have to refer the patient properly, taking the
Okay.
consent from the patient as well, and mentioning that in those things that you are referring because of so and so reasons, so that you are absolved of the responsibility there.
Fine. Okay.
And the dentist who is taking over, if he's your known dentist, it will help
Okay.
you in the payment part as well. It will help you in controlling the treatment outcome results as well. Because if he is known to you, he can collaborate with you. But if the patient goes to another person and he starts the treatment who is not known to you, maybe let's suppose you issued a 10,000 refund. Let's suppose you charge 50%, 20,000. You issue 10,000 refund. The patient goes somewhere. The dentist starts the treatment. Probably could not or does not, God forbid, give the result what you had expected or what the patient wanted. Both the things. The lame blame game will start, and you will be the culprit in those cases.
Okay.
Because you were the one who initially promised. So for the latter dentist, it is very easy to point out, पहले dentist ने आपका बहुत काम खराब कर दिया था, इसके कारण मैं ठीक नहीं कर पाया. And the consent form also lies with you, initial one. So
Okay.
that known dentist in that or a reference in that town helps you on 2 counts. Predicting the treatment outcome, because that is the primary thing. The cost, the sittings, all those things are secondary. Giving the
Okay.
patient the desired outcome is the primary thing. So better to find out a reference or a known one who can treat you or collaborate with you if any problem is there. And accordingly, the patient can be dealt, because it's not the patient's fault if the results are not there. So you need to really say, understand that part.
Fine, sir. Fine. Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay, Dr. Sameer, Dr. Anupama, thank you, ma'am. Dr. Sameer, in case of close relative, good friends or senior doctors, how to convey that I have done this much discount I have done for you, as sometimes I find difficult to convey that I am this. Sameer, this thing starts from the first aspect only. Convey them very clearly, very professionally. We are charging 5,000 for this. As a clinic policy, for known patients, we are offering 10% discount. For relatives, we are offering 20% discount. So you get a 1,000 off, you will have to pay 4,000. Convey it beforehand. And you should be taking a consent, add that treatment cost into the consent. Probably with a discount as well. That treatment total charges are 5,000, and as a clinic policy for the relatives, offering 20% discount, so the total treatment charges payable are 4,000. So put that in black and blue for the relatives as well. So there is no harm in that, and that should absolve you of most of the troubles when the patient signs that. I hope you are not making a shortcut by not making the relative sign the consent form, because usually जब problem आती है तो known बंदा ज्यादा तंग करता है, चाहे medical legal problem आए, चाहे negligence आए, चाहे कुछ आए, known बंदा ज्यादा तंग करता है. So better make sure that you actually are, say, concomitant with those guidelines, and mention a line that along with the, say, treatment aspect. So convey it beforehand and convey it in black and blue. That is the only thing.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, Dr. Sethi, thank you. No problem. No problem. We meet today again at 8 p.m. for Chai Pe Charcha. I have also an appointment at 9:15. Don't worry. I'll be ready in that time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any more queries? Any more questions?
Got answer.
Okay. Okay, then we meet today evening 8 p.m. for the original scheduled Chai Pe Charcha session on finance.
Yes, sir.
To see you all there.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for the lovely session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Do put in your feedback in the WhatsApp group.